Hi, I'm Barry Ward. I'm the leader of production business management with the Department of Ag, Environmental and Development Economics. And today I'm going to talk about land values, cash rents, input costs for crops, and also the entire profit or loss picture for crops in 2015. So it's all subjects. These are all subjects that come together. We'll start out by talking about land values. I think first, land values have seen unprecedented run-ups in the last 8 years due to a number of factors, and the factors that typically get cited are just extreme profitability. I guess extreme might not be the best word, but above average to excellent profitability in the crop sector in the last 8 years, and been the main driver for this asset class in agriculture, together with low interest rates. And with this high profit picture, we've seen balance sheets, net worths across the sector become very healthy. So all of these fundamentals are working together, at least in the past, to really increase land values, bear cropland values in the state of Ohio. What we might expect going forward, I guess, is the question. And as we evaluate all those fundamentals for 2015 and even this past year in 2014, we look first of all at net income. Crop net income has seen some averaging out, if you will. We've seen income really decline in 2014. Our expectation is that will continue in 2015. So that fundamental driver alone will really put a damper on land values. Now, it won't necessarily curtail all of the optimism out there because balance sheets are still so healthy. So those are competing fundamentals, and lower profits opposed to these still healthy balance sheets are going to make for probably a fairly flat land value picture into 2015. Cash rents next, as we start to examine what's driving cash rents out there, and this is always a very hot button issue, but the same set of fundamental drivers. Crop net incomes are expected to be lower, if not negative, and together with possibly maybe balance sheets that will weaken a bit, but they're still healthy. So those balance sheets that are still very healthy, a lot of dollars still chasing these rental acres, will make, again, for some competing fundamentals. The one difference with land rents out there is these higher property taxes that are impacting all landowners across the state. So these higher property taxes will really create a lot of problems with those producers that are trying to renegotiate land rents lower. But our expectation is that land rents will trade, or if you will be in a very narrow range and not much movement. We might expect them to move lower due to these lower crop prices and lower margins, but our expectation is with these healthy balance sheets that cash rents won't move lower, if at all. The last piece that I'll just talk about briefly is crop input costs. There's going to be very little movement with these. Seed costs, chemical costs, our expectations are flat to maybe modestly higher, except in a certain few situations. Fertilizer, we feel, is one of the commodities that we work with on input costs, is the one input that might have some downward price movement, although with some of the geopolitical risks that are still out there in the world, fertilizer prices at this point in 2014 have not moved lower as we might have expected. But our expectations are that with lower crop prices and lower margins, that input will eventually move lower, especially in light of all of the new potential production coming online here in the U.S. So overall, the profit picture looks to be much lower than what we experienced in that 2006 through 2013 period, more like 2014, although lately here in the later part of the fall with higher crop prices, slightly higher crop prices, we have seen maybe a little more optimism for 2015, but as we look right now, input costs being fairly rigid, crop prices being lower than what we experienced during that bull run period, if you will, are expected to be flat and very, very tight margins as we move into 2015.